Okay, so let's dive in. You sent over some really fascinating material about curiosity,
Yeah.
that basic human thing wanting to know stuff.
hmm
And what really jumps out right from the start in this source is just how, well, fundamental it says it is.
It really does. And it's interesting how the material frames it, doesn't it? Not just like a personality trait, but almost like we're wired for it.
Wired, exactly.
It says we are programmed to inquire, basically from birth. You see it with kids,
Right.
right? Always asking why about absolutely everything.
Yeah, that relentless why. So it's not something we learn, it's just
Yeah.
there,
Oh,
innate.
yeah.
And the source seems pretty clear that this isn't really something you just, outgrow or lose. It's more
Yeah.
about tending to it.
Cultivating it, yeah, that's the word it uses. And when you nurture that spark, it apparently doesn't just stick around, it actually grows stronger through life.
Which kind of makes sense because that leads to the next point, doesn't it? How
Yeah.
that cultivated curiosity becomes something, well, powerful.
Extremely powerful. The source calls this developed form the actual foundation of all knowledge, like the bedrock.
The starting point for, well, everything we figure out, every discovery.
Yeah, pretty much. Any understanding we build about the world, it starts there.
And you can see that, can't you? The material touches on historical examples, people like Galileo. It
Yeah.
wasn't just looking up, it was a deep what if about how it all worked.
Or Darwin, sort of applying that same intense curiosity to life itself.
Hmm.
And the source suggests it's that exact same drive, that same spark that fuels innovation even now, pushing us to ask what could be.
Right. But it's not just science, is it? That's another thing the material highlights.
No, definitely not. It suggests this drive works just as much when we explore, say, art or philosophy or literature.
Oh.
And that's how we start to understand not just the world out there, but ourselves too, our place in it. It helps shape culture, build empathy, that
Yeah.
sort of thing.
Okay, but here's where, based on the material you sent, it gets, well, a bit more complex.
hmm It doesn't paint it as simple.
No. The source definitely brings up the fact that knowledge is power. And with power comes...
Responsibility,
Yeah.
accountability. Yeah, the material really leans into that.
Makes you think, doesn't it?
It does.
Yeah.
Because the same curiosity that leads to, say, a medical breakthrough could, if we're not careful, be misused or lead to harm.
Right.
So the source argues, I think quite strongly, that pursuing truth needs more than just intellect. It needs an ethical compass, too.
An ethical dimension.
Mm,
So tempering that drive with compassion and
yeah.
thinking about the impact.
Exactly. Asking not just, can we learn this or can we do this, but considering the broader context, should we?
That's a heavy question. And it feels especially relevant now, with so much information just everywhere.
Oh, absolutely. And the source makes a point there, too, distinguishing between just passively scrolling or consuming information versus actually gaining knowledge
Hmm.
or even wisdom.
So clicking links isn't enough. Shocker.
Huh, right. It still takes effort, it seems. Rigorous thinking, analysis, that sustained, deep curiosity we started with, not just skimming headlines.
It's about active engagement then. Sifting, connecting ideas,
Hmm.
really working with the information.
Driven by that fundamental need to understand, yeah. That's the picture the material paints.
Okay, so wrapping up this deep dive based on the source material you shared,
Yeah.
the main takeaway seems pretty clear. Curiosity isn't just like a nice to have,
No, it's portrayed as this innate, powerful engine inside us.
driving us to learn, to connect, to understand the world ourselves. All of it.
And the material sort of leaves us with a challenge, doesn't it? Not just to feel curious, but to actively refine it.
Ask better questions.
Sharper questions, yeah. And to keep searching for better answers, more considered, more ethical answers.
Which brings us to a final thought for you, the listener, reflecting on these ideas from the source. In this huge, complicated world we've been discussing, what's the one thing right now that genuinely holds your deepest, most persistent curiosity?